JC here for RetireCheap.Asia. I'm sitting in Chiang Mai with bugs swarming around me that I'm going to be swatting. And actually, we have another member that I want to interview today. And the difference between my interview today and my normal interview is that this is a member of our membership site. But it's somebody who didn't come over that I'm interviewing, but actually came to Chiang Mai because how long have you been living in Thailand?
I've been living for 7 years.
7 years.
But I've been visiting for 25 or so.
Okay.
Yes.
And is it okay if I say, you tell them your name, Bruce?
Sure.
Okay, Bruce. So 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've come up to Chiang Mai, but before we start talking about Chiang Mai in particular, you know, just briefly, what prompted you to actually come to live in Thailand?
My brother retired with the medical, and he came and lived here, and I was visiting him for about 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got to know Thailand and everything, and I wanted to retire myself. I didn't have enough money to live in the States, so I immediately came over here because I could spend time with my brother, who's partially disabled. He was partially disabled. He's dead now. But that's why, and I liked it very much. And this is home now.
And so where were you living? Where are you living?
I'm in Khon Kaen.
Khon Kaen.
In the middle of Isan.
Mm-hmm. And that's, is that close to the border?
No, right in the
okay.
middle. If you look at Thailand, it looks like an elephant looking to the left. Khon Kaen is right in the middle of the ear.
Okay.
Left ear.
All right. And it's relatively inexpensive to live there, I know. Give them an example of if you want to go live away from a bigger city and go to a smaller city, explain what you're paying for rent and what you're getting.
I have a townhouse, so it's
Be careful tapping on that because it'll come through the pop. They'll be hearing it. We don't, but they'll.
It's a timing thing. I have a townhouse, 2 stories, 3 bedrooms upstairs and a bathroom, 2 bedrooms or 1 bedroom and a study downstairs, a big living room, a bathroom downstairs, a big kitchen, and it's 5,000 baht a month. 5,000
baht, which equates to less than $200.
About $165, $170 a month.
That's hard to beat.
On my own little soy, there's about 20 townhouses on there.
And for those who don't know, soy is like a little street.
A lane, yeah, and it's the farmer started it, but he was supposed to register it with the city, so the soy doesn't have a name. He didn't register it, so there's no name for the soy.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So you live on no name soy.
No name soy.
Interesting. Okay. And so, are you happy? I mean, you've been here 7 years. Is it someplace you're getting sick of being, or someplace you enjoy being? And if either one, why do you enjoy it, or why would you say don't come over here? Either way.
Don't come over here. There's too many white faces already.
Yeah.
I taught school for a year in China, and when I came back here, I felt I'm back home. This is where I want to be.
And why is that?
The food, the people, prices. It's a nice feeling to me to be an expat. You're kind of set aside a little bit. And it's also kind of interesting how you become friends with people you wouldn't be friends with otherwise. Kind of people, because that's all there is.
Right.
But
well, you immediately have something in common with people that are living here because we're such a small group.
Yeah.
That you immediately have that in common, and with Thai people, it's really easy to open up a conversation or communicate with them. They're not closed off to being communicated with.
Yeah, they like to talk. But excuse me for talking so loud. But,
no worries.
But it's something where every time you go outside the house, you see and learn something new almost every time.
Yeah. For somebody that needs that certainty every day, where it's going to be a routine and everything. They won't find that here. They could probably encase themselves in their own little world if they chose to. But once you step out the door, there's always something new and exciting every day. And it's one of those things where we say this is Thailand. because you never really know what to expect. You can expect the unexpected is what you can expect.
I knew a guy who'd been here 40 years, and he said sometimes he could predict what the Thais will do. Never would he predict why they would do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So your brother has passed away now?
Yes, about 4.5 months ago.
4.5 months ago. So now why have you come up to Chiang Mai?
I'm getting a little tired of Tonkin. I live out near this edge of it, and there's not a lot around, and I find I don't get out enough. I've been here once 20 years ago, once about 6 months ago, and I like it. It's a vibrant place. Things are going on, and you can still get away from all the white faces. And that I just seem to think that I might have a better time here.
Now, other members and people from YouTube and stuff have come over because I've recommended the hotel that you're staying at on YouTube.
Yes.
And it's on mapsandmore.com as well. And it's an example of sort of what you're saying. I mean, here we are just a stone's throw from the old city and the traffic and everything like that, but we're sitting in this really nice garden and everything. And a very nice atmosphere, and so
we're 100 meters off the busy road.
Yeah, we're 100 meters off, and we got these beautiful gardens, and it's quiet and everything. And that's sort of the way it is, not in Bangkok, but almost every other place that I've ever been in Thailand. Even if it's this hub or the central location of a city, within 15-20 minutes you can be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
And that's really, really nice because it gives you the best of both worlds.
Yeah, you can have the activity if you want, or the quiet if you want.
So, are your plans to actually continue living in Thailand?
Oh, absolutely, till I die. I don't plan on.
That's
leaving.
a long time.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah, we got fingers crossed.
I haven't had enough Thai food yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not ready to go.
Yeah, right. So, the upsides for you, as far as why you're here, is the cost of living, the food,
and the freedom to go around and see things that I wouldn't be able to do on my income in the States.
Yeah.
Meeting unique people, and you also, if you live here, you get a little bit of people look up at you. The newbies look up at you a little bit, and so that's kind of a prideful thing.
Yeah. What's the downside? You've been here 7 years.
Language.
And we're talking about that while we were eating.
Yeah. And sometimes the boredom. One thing people don't realize that Thais are used to waiting, and the bureaucracy here makes you wait and wait and wait. That can really be frustrating. That's the frustrating part, is the waiting and the not knowing sometimes. You expect somebody at 2 o'clock and they come tomorrow.
Yeah, it was interesting. I just had lunch with another member and his wife. He's got a Thai wife, and she was just talking about that. I mean, they've lived in the States. I think he met her in the States, and they've been married quite a while, and she's lived in the States. And she's cracks on the Thais here about, if you say you're coming at 8 o'clock, you better be here at 8 o'clock. Well, you better not come at 12 o'clock. And I was laughing, going, she's more like a foreigner than a Thai person, because here we got Thai time. And Thai time means sometime today, hopefully.
Yeah. One thing is, I went to the States once, and I took a laptop that was broken back to get fixed. And they said, no, I needed a new motherboard. And I said, no, it's not worth it. And they didn't have it ready for me to bring back, so they mailed it. Well, I was living 4 hours out of Bangkok, 4 hours out. Recent accident, I don't talk right sometimes. And so I had to go to Bangkok to the post office to get it. And I had to go through 3 interviews. 5 people had to sit and write comments. And I also ended up going to the postmaster, wanting to know why I was getting a computer that was worth 0, no money. And it took half a day. Well, for me, it's a half a day to get there. Stay overnight, half a day.
To get a computer that's worth nothing. Interesting. But hey, if you weren't doing that, what would you be doing?
That's right. Wow.
What's your joke? You can relate to this if you come live over here for sure.
Oh.
What's the joke?
If you're retired? That one?
Yeah.
Well, retired is a terrible thing to be. And you don't realize how bad it is till you get retired, because there's no holidays, no time off, no weekends, no vacations. and all you have to do is nothing, and you never finish.
You're never quite done. You know?
Never quite done.
What did the husband say to the wife?
Oh, I'm not. She said, "What are you going to do today?" And he said, "Nothing." And she said, "Well, didn't you do that yesterday?" And he says, "Yeah, but I'm not finished yet."
Not finished yet. That's right. That's one thing. It is difficult for some people. They come over and they're so used to a regimented life and a structured life. When they have free time, they really don't know what to do with it. And I've always told people, and I see people come over and they immediately, okay, I'm going to start this business, I'm going to get into this relationship, I'm going to do this and this and this. And it's like, because they need the distractions. Their life has been so full of these distractions that they don't know how to just be with themselves and enjoy the moment. And I said this to somebody who was having some health issues, some health crises, that it's interesting because when I was doing some research about health, and I looked into spontaneous remission of cancer patients, and when they interviewed these people that were told, go home, get your affairs in order, years and years later they were still alive, and they wanted to find out what the common denominator was. And for every one of them, it was the same thing, that they decided to savor every moment that they had left. And by doing that, they started creating the chemistry in their body that was very healing. Interferon, interleukin, which are anti-cancer drugs. And they were producing this in their own chemistry and cured themselves. Now, I'm not professing that you can cure every cancer case that way, but isn't that the way we should be living our life every day?
Yes.
And when you're retired, you have that opportunity. And this is what you really should be thankful for, and start saying, you know, if you're eating something you like, eat it and savor it.
Yeah.
And even if you're going to sit back with a cigar, go get the best cigar and savor it. Don't feel guilty, or ice cream. I shouldn't be eating ice cream. I think worrying about it is worse than the ice cream.
Yeah.
If you actually savor it and go, wow, this is fantastic. This is the best. You're producing that chemistry in your body that's healing, because it's much more powerful. And your thoughts are 24 hours a day. 7 days a week, but you only eat a couple times a day. I think it's much more powerful to pay attention to what you're thinking than what you're eating.
Yes, you had that dessert that you went wild over recently.
Oh, the creme brulee.
I can't wait to get to that.
Oh my God. Because traditionally, I've had creme brulee here in Thailand, and it's eggy. I mean, it's like hard-boiled eggs almost. It's like, you gotta cut it and stuff. It's not custardy and creamy, which we're used to real creme brulee being. And that actually was. And with the brown sugar on the top, and then I love Thai iced tea, and to have that little hint of flavor in there. And the funny thing was, there was somebody with us, and I'm not ragging on him or anything like that, but he thought, I was going to go, okay, something how I closed the video and stuff. But I took that bite and went, wow, this is good. Well, he'd already stopped the camera, so you don't see that, but it was like, when I put that in my mouth, it was like, wow, this is really good. But he already turned off the camera, so you didn't get a chance to see it.
That's another nice thing about being over here, is finding new places, either on your own or from someone else. And it's terrible that when you get used to going to the same place over and over and over again and eating the same thing, you miss out on all the opportunity, so much of it here.
And the interesting thing about that is and this happens to a lot of people. I also see that, remind me about that, eating in the same place, because I see that we need to replace a battery here. So I'm going to pause this for just a second, and we'll be right back, okay? Hang in there. Okay, we're back. And we're back, and if you notice that there's a scenery change, it's because while I was replacing the batteries, it actually started raining. So we're out in the garden, which is very lush and tropical, and this is why, because of these great rains that we have. So anyway, we were talking about food, and you were talking about you can get different every time you go out. There's different. But the interesting thing about this, and I mentioned it before, is that the main dishes that Thai people eat, there's probably a handful of them, maybe 10. That are standard Thai dishes, and everybody cooks them. But the thing about it is, every cook...
That's just different.
Yeah, because there's like, instead of salt and pepper, we've got maybe in each given dish, there's 4 or 5 different things that are giving it the flavor that creates that dish. And the ratios of those is what makes it taste different from cook to cook. And you'll find somebody that has, the best fried rice. that taste is what you like. Other fried rices just don't do it.
And they don't measure anything.
That's right. That's right. But they've got that little thing down, and every time they know that little dash, how big their dash is, and you'll find that you have a place that you love for pad see ew, pad thai, or
noodles for quick
yeah, everything, which is very cool. Because the neat thing about that is it's not like going to, I like this Sizzler restaurant, or I like this Pizza Hut restaurant, or nobody's going to recognize you when you came in. Maybe a staff member would if you went often enough. But these people get to know you. And so when you show up, you're actually treated somewhat special because you're helping to support them and support their families.
That's something else I've noticed. Is that they're used to meeting and then remembering people. Where I can sometimes remember faces, never names.
Yeah. I'm really bad with names.
But they remember you right off the start. And,
I went to a place the other day and got pad thai. I hadn't been there in probably a year and a half. And they asked me, do I want my regular food? And I'm thinking, how do you remember me after a year and a half? And it was one of those weird things. And it's like, I think that place remembered me because they had, I asked how much the food was. And at the last time I was there a year and a half ago. And they told me, and I questioned because the sign said a different price. And they explained to me why what I ordered was more expensive. So I said, oh, do you have a marker and a pen? And I actually put it in English for the foreigners who were coming there so they would understand the price scale.
Yeah.
And they remembered that. And they knew exactly what I ordered.
My brother, when he was first here, ordered some shirts, and then he left before he could pick them up. Well, he came back here 2 or 3 years later.
No.
And he was walking across the street past the tailor, and the tailor comes out, sir, you kun, your shirts are ready.
Oh my God.
3 years later.
Amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Amazing. So now you're in Chiang Mai. How long are you going to be in Chiang Mai for?
I'm hoping for 1 or 2 weeks. I'm basically just scouting around the housing situation because I'm positive I'm going to move here. And I'll just look for a house. I don't want an apartment. In this townhouse back in Khon Kaen, I've got all my furniture and everything and a scooter. So I figure if I moved here, I'd buy a PCX, which is $70,000, and the most I could get there is $30,000 for my 2-year-old Click. So I can more than pay for the move by just keeping the same scooter. And I've got a refrigerator and washing machine and all that stuff.
And if you're going to bring all that stuff, you can put your bike on the truck as well. And actually the trucks to hire to do that aren't that expensive. And if what some people don't know, and if you're moving here or living here, most people don't know this, the Thai Postal Service.
You can send a motor scooter through the post.
They'll put it through the post.
Yes, I've seen that.
It's hard to get it into the mailboxes, but the back wheel sticks out.
Yeah.
But no, actually, and it's not that. It's like go cross country. It's about $100 or something, 3,000 baht or a little over that or something.
The first time I walked into the post office and saw a motor scooter sitting out there, all wrapped up with an address tag.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, they'll send it through the post.
The only question I have is, I don't know. I've never seen a storage place. If I brought the stuff, if I could store it someplace till I found a place, and I don't think so. That's why I'm here.
Our places are so cheap; it's cheaper than storage.
Yeah, that's why.
Because you can get a cheap room here without air conditioning for less than $100.
I might do that just the next time I come, or maybe if I can find a place like that, then have the truck come, rent it for 2 months, and then bring it there and I'll put the trunk down here.
No, the tapping on the table.
Oh,
I just want to remind you, the microphone will really pick that up.
I'll tap the microphone.
Yeah, just tap the mic.
But find some place like that, and then
the challenge with that is, it's really good if you haven't found a place, but then you got to move all that stuff twice, and you're not going to move it yourself. Then you got to get people to help you and stuff like that. So if you could find some place before and then just bring it once, and that's the ideal situation.
This is kind of a scouting, and I'll come up here, rent a house, go back, put it on the truck, and come here immediately.
It's going to be hard to beat that deal you got down there, though.
You betcha. As you said, why would I want to leave?
Yeah.
Just kind of, the town is...
And you've been there long enough where I understand, because I get that itchy feet kind of thing where, okay, this is too known. I want some unknown again. I want new experiences.
Yeah, a lot of the people I know there love that known thing.
Yeah.
They love to I'm sorry, I want to go out and have something new each time. I've got to be entertained. And I don't, I've got to, like you, go to the market and sit down and just watch the people.
I enjoy that, and I know as the older we get, the more we want that certainty that things stay the same. We don't want those speed bumps in our life, that we have to slow down and, rethink everything. It's like those aren't really good as we get older, because they're either going to cost us time, energy, or financial, one or the other.
Are you getting older?
You're such an old man. I'm growing older, but not up.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the things I try not to do. I try to keep a youthful mind. Try and see life through the eyes of a child. They're amazing. That's one of the great things, especially about teaching English and stuff over here, to be around the youth, because they retain that youth for so much longer than we do back home. It's so great just to see kids being kids, still enjoying and being happy and not being so serious about all the stuff. And so that's really enjoyable about one of the things that's income for us that you can't put, it's intangible.
There's no money to it.
Yeah, it's an intangible thing. And there's a lot of intangible things. And, a lot of people may start out coming over here because there's tangible benefits, either relationships or finances or stuff like that. But there's so many things that we get here that I'm going to start doing videos again about, that, and hopefully the people won't know they're being videotaped, because then that'll change the dynamic of it. But to let people see that what we've sort of lost in the West, that they still retain here. You can go up and have conversations with people, and they're just genuinely friendly. They're not fear-based. They're not like, well, why are you talking to me?
Are you married? I have a sister for you. Yes.
But anyway, so yeah, Chiang Mai.
I like Chiang Mai. It's just from walking around. It's colorful. The stores are colorful. There's a lot. I like coffee. There's a lot more coffee shops and things, and different types of food.
I don't know which we have more of, coffee shops or 7-Elevens. It's a toss-up.
Yeah.
There's at least 6 on every block.
Have you noticed though that every time a 7-Eleven goes someplace and gets successful, the Tesco Lotus Express shows up right across the block?
They're starting to put those up, and they're very good stores. I actually support Tesco Lotus, the Lotus Expresses, just because they have a wider variety. They take up a bigger footprint. I think it's harder for them to get in, where some of these 7-Elevens, they're so tight. I can't even stand back far enough to see the bottom shelf. What's on the product on the bottom shelf.
They're more snack food, where Tesco Lotus has a little better, higher.
That's exactly right. They actually have fresh produce.
They got fresh produce and fruit and ice cream that you could buy and take home.
Yeah. So overall, you like it here, and I know you don't want to recommend it to
No, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Don't come.
Stay away.
Stay home.
Mexico. That's where you want to go.
Panama. Got some good real estate for you to buy in Panama. So, it's interesting. I mean, today was the first day I met you. We've been communicating through the membership site. It's great to have you a member, and you actually are very, I don't know what the right word is here. You're always, it's interesting because you're one of the people that are already here.
I know what I'm getting into because I'm already in it.
And so you're a wealth of information, and the number of members that we have that are actually living here. In fact, I said today, maybe we can get everybody together if the rain stops, of the people that are already here, because it's such a great support for people that move here, but also for the people that are members that are thinking about moving here, because it takes a lot of the burden off me to answer questions, because I might not have had the experience that you have.
Yes.
Or Z, or Kenya. All these guys are here.
My situation is, Thailand's not new, but this city's new, so I'm a little bit wandering around, where am I? But I know what to expect and what I'm eating
you're a
and all
wealth
that
of
stuff.
information as
Yeah.
well now for people that are thinking to say, I don't want to live in a city, I want to live into a place that's a little quieter. And you can answer all those questions about what's the upsides and downsides of that. So I really appreciate your contribution,
Thank you.
especially in our live chat, because you're always on there and you're always. It's funny, you know. Everybody develops a personality through their chat.
I like to have fun.
And yours is always. Everybody sees you as you're a really busy guy here doing nothing. You know?
Yeah, I am. I'm getting tired of doing nothing. And I'm a little bit off color once in a while.
Yeah,
Not
that's
bad,
good.
but a little bit.
But that what gives everybody the characters, you know, and the personalities. A lot of personalities come through in the membership side,
like
and
to
it's
have
fun.
fun.
And you're a great contributor as well.
And you mentioned about the people coming over. I used to be, when I lived in Bangkok, a member of a group. We would have people come from around the world every once in a while. And another fellow and I, who had time, would go meet them at the airport, take them to their hotel, and find them dinner and stuff. And I'd like to do that here, start a little group of people that are interested in meeting the new guys and helping them out. So we're going to try to get something like that going.
Well, there are expat clubs
Yeah, but I
in
mean just-
Pattaya and Chiang Mai, and so it would be a really good thing if members could help members. And that's sort of like why I created that mapsandmore.com
Yes.
website was, you know, the more people that come over and start experiencing and finding these places, because it takes a while to find places. It's not like we have the yellow pages here, so when we do find a resource in any given area of our life, it's great to be able to share that with other people for two reasons. One, it saves time and energy, but it also helps keep these little Thai businesses, which are the ones I love to promote. The mom and pop businesses, help keep them in business. We can advertise for them because they don't have an avenue for advertising, you know.
You mentioned that fuddy-duddy place. I want to go there too, just from what you did.
What fuddy-duddy place?
The Monkey Donkey, whatever it is.
Oh, the Funky Monkey.
Funky Monkey, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
I like the name, but I would go there just because
And
the
you
way
drink
talked
coffee.
about
You
it.
love the coffee.
Oh, I love
So,
coffee.
yeah. And
Especially
good,
the Thai soft coffee.
Oh, actually what we call it, that's Thai Cafe Boran.
Hold on.
And Boran means like ancient style, old style.
It
And
is
so, yeah,
strong.
it is. It'll grow hair on your chest.
I
for
used to
sure.
buy it, take it home, and put it and have 3 cups of coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
I like both. I like the brewed, from the machine with fresh ground coffee, but I also like that. And it's like people think, oh, how can you drink that? And to me, it's a different style. It'd be like getting a different type of beer. You
so
know what I'm
good.
saying? Yeah. I think it's good in a different way.
Yeah. One of the sad things I think I see in a lot of Americans that come up here, no, not a lot, but they come over here and they got the Thai food and especially the fruit and vegetables, and they want to eat only American food. Oh, they don't know what they're missing.
Yeah, and for them, I recommend actually, and I don't say this as a negative thing, but I recommend them actually go live in Cambodia, because Cambodia and the Cambodian food, in my opinion, is the menu, the choices aren't as conducive for foreigners to enjoy them. It takes more of a while to get to like Khmer food. It's not what we're used to, because now Thai restaurants are prolific in the States, so we know these dishes. When you go into Cambodia, you don't know them, and the flavor is a little different. And it's so easy for foreigners to go live in Cambodia because of the visa situation and have businesses. And so the easiest thing for people to open are what? Restaurants. And so the foreign food is prolific over there. I mean, anything you want that's a foreign-based food, somebody's serving it, and it's foreigners cooking it, so it's that foreign flavor. So if somebody says, well, yeah, I'd like to go over and live cheaply, but I can't eat rice for breakfast, Cambodia's the place for them.
Well,
I mean, I said when I was in Cambodia, there was a little Mexican place around the corner where my guest house was, and they had $1 tacos and $1.50 frozen margaritas. And I mean, here, you
don't get those.
Yeah, you get.
Thank goodness you don't get those.
Yeah. And so, that's a nice break from Thai food or whatever. So if people are interested in living in Southeast Asia but not having the Asian food or something, and also it's easier to talk to business owners there because a lot of business owners are foreigners. So you don't also have that language barrier as much, unless you're away from those tourist areas and you're only the Khmer people.
My treat when I do feel like I want to have foreign food, which I do miss peaches. I do miss peaches.
I got to take you to our pizza place here.
No, not pizza. Peaches.
Oh, peaches.
Georgia peaches.
Forget peaches, forget plums, unless you want to spend about $6
And
a piece.
they've gotten apples here now that they didn't have before.
Yeah, we got every apple here. We got Fuji and everything.
But what was I going to say? I don't know.
Fruits.
Oh, well, nothing about that. It was something else.
We were talking about the foods and the difference, like you don't have to eat Thai, Asian food.
When I want to have a foreign food, it's either your favorite place, Sizzlers for their salad.
I don't want to be in trouble with them, so don't even go down that road.
Or looking for a good hamburger is hard to find. A good, big, full hamburger.
And if you do find one, it's going to be pricey.
Yeah, there's a place that just opened in Nong Khai, and I know there's a place in Bangkok, but they're $5.
And that's about what it's going to cost here too.
But
there's a place in Chiang Mai, and I don't eat meat. I don't eat real beef burgers or something. But there's a place here in Chiang Mai that I hear is really good, and I'll go ahead and plug them just because people have said good things about it. A place called Duke's. And they've actually got 2 locations now. One on Moon Luang on the Moat Road, and one on the other side of the Ping River, opposite the old city, if you cross the river. And so from what I hear, they do a superb job with the foreign food there, and it's pricey, but it's of high quality.
And one place I wanted to know, have you heard of Mike's?
Yes, absolutely.
I love that place.
You like Mike's?
I like the chili con carne. Maybe it's canned, I don't, because it's frozen when they bring it out. But I like.
Yeah, I knew Mike when he opened the place, and
I like that
before he sold it off.
The cartoons on the wall.
Yeah. Hey, well, he filled a niche, and they sold it off, and he was going to open Mexican, and then I think he ended up going someplace else, I don't know. But, I used to talk to him for off and on when he first started that place. And, so there's places you can get just about anything that you want here.
Which is not what's available in Tonkin. You've got to go to the most expensive hotel to get anything decent. It's very pricey.
I have a friend, a Thai friend, who lives in Payao. Payao's about 3 hours from here. And when she comes over, I say, where would you like to go? And she wants to go to Swenson's, which is ice cream. Because all they got is the 7-Eleven stuff in the coolers.
And they've got the dynamite or whatever it's called.
And she says there they don't have a Swenson's. So when she comes here, she wants real ice cream. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, we have some resources here that, and this is the thing. It's like you can live an hour and a half from here, or 2 hours. In fact, Lumpang now. Lumpang is actually building a real mall, not like a superstore like, we have Lotus and Big C, which are sort of like Walmarts with little businesses surrounding them in a building. This is a full-fledged mall they're building there, which will change the dynamic for foreigners there.
Wouldn't it?
And that's an hour and a half from here.
That's one of the places I'm thinking of.
And that's a place you can actually get the deal like you got back home.
Yeah, because that's part of why I go there. And it's far enough outside of Chiang Mai that I could make it, this would be a special trip. Yeah. Once or twice a week would be nice.
And by bus, you only have to take a motorbike. It's 70 baht for a bus. You can read a book or do whatever you want to do on the bus, and you're here.
That's one of the things I'm going to look around. After I'm here for a while, I'll start, I may start looking around out a little further out.
I'm going to be, once the van is done, that's one of we're going to go to Chiang Rai, Payao, Lumpang, and actually spend some time there to show people what it's like and what the resources are and the costs are in those places up here in the north. And you get treated completely different as well, which is again one of those benefits you can't put a price on. I mean, you get treated more like you did back here 10 years ago in Chiang Mai.
And Chiang Mai, you go to that White Palace. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that is something else.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
Oh, you will see.
It's on my list now. Last time I was in Chiang Mai, it wasn't built yet, and so.
It's ongoing. It's ongoing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be out of here in the next couple of weeks in the van, and that'll be on the list of. I'm going to make a special video, not one of my. It's going to be a special video.
Be sure to get right outside the big building, the big white building. They've got kind of a moat with all these people and all these grotesque things. People. It's like like they're suffering so much right outside. And then it was fun to go see this.
They picked those images up off the news reports from the West and then caricature them into
Yeah. And now, one thing I enjoyed seeing was the no smoking sign with all the cigarettes and the packs of cigarettes in the no smoking sign.
In the no smoking sign. Very cool. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the place here. You know, it's really a place to see.
It is very pretty.
Yeah, so we'll do a video about that as well. Well, Bruce, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure meeting you. A pleasure having you as a member. We really appreciate you. I can't do what I do without you members, you know, helping to support what it is.
Where's my chair?
Yeah. Yeah, pay you after the video. All the other stuff.
No, my pleasure. I really enjoy it, getting on for a couple hours every morning, and that's a delight. It's a new change for me, and I enjoy talking to people coming in.
Well, it's nice to have people. You know, I was always worried when I created the site that once people got over here, they would stop participating, and that's really an important part of the dynamic which is developing, that I didn't realize that how much resources that you all can offer people thinking about coming over, because we all have different experiences, different thoughts, and different ideas about things.
Which is one thing I see about Z and everything, is that he's here and he's still on. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have come over that just drop out.
Well, he's passionate about giving information, so he's creating all these videos for us of his day-to-day life here. You know, me, it's about the details of what you all need to know to live here and acclimate to the surroundings. You know, things like driver's licenses and visas and, you know, ordering foods and stuff like that. His is about his experience, and it's good. It's good to share all that. So, thanks again, and it's been a pleasure. And we'll keep in touch for sure. And hopefully, I'll be able to help you out while you're here to find your place. So, take care, and till we talk to you again. This is JC out and Bruce. And remember, when it comes to dealing with the situation you're in,
there's always an option.
There's always an option. Take care.